Josh, what do you think of the new Stigmata?
I think it's super sexy. Yeah, I think it looks great. I think it's kind of rad they have an option with a suspension fork and a dropper post.
Here we go! First smattering of gravel. Let's kick this fork into action. Oh my God, like riding on a ribbon of Velveeta. I want Velveeta. So guess how much this thing weighed? With bottle cages, pedals, repair kit, tube, pump in the down tube. Take a guess. It came in at a solid 22.5 pounds. I'm just saying, colored me impressed. All right, guys, only 6,000 more feet to go. Oh, yeah. And then there was this. Oh, my. Oh, it's real good in here. Definitely feeling the dropper on this bike. Very helpful, very appreciated. The people have spoken, the gods have listened. The new Stigmata also has fender mounts. How civilized. Thank you, Santa Cruz. This thing's good. I did switch the saddle though. The saddle that came with this bike, no thank you. But the Physique Argo really ties the room together. Also, it's a great touch. It's a mountain bike move, which we could use on all gravel bikes. This thing's bouncing all over the damn place. And it's not gonna disturb your fancy pretty.
Like, yeah, I wanted to go and be like, hey, so Dustin, tell me about your bike.
Well, this is the new Stigmata 2023 carbon fiber Ramble Rocket from Santa Cruz. And it's running the Force Level Explore Group with the reverb dropper and Rudy 40mm front suspension. Set up 1x with a 40 in the front and a 10 to 44 in the back. It's rolling on high octane Carbon Reserve 700C wheels with Maxxis Rambler 45s. And it's got those Fillmore valves that are kind of genius. I'm not mad at Zip's Explore handlebars either. This thing's cool as hell. And it's comfortable. Oh, and the derailleur, it's UDH. That means you can run transmission. This bike is sprightly, playful, and right at home in the trails. I can't get over how much fun this thing is to throw around back here. Which brings me to another thing that I really like about this bike, and it's the progressive geometry. This bike takes design cues from modern mountain bikes, which means it has a longer top tube and a shorter stem with a fork that's a little more raked out and corrected for a small amount of suspension. What this does is it makes the bike feel, oh, okay, I'm dying here. What this does is makes the bike feel more stable and confident on the trail, which results in more fun when you're riding amongst the trees. No issues climbing, aside from the regular annoyance of just climbing. Another interesting thing about this new Stigmata is they upgraded the frame and it comes in 5 different build models, which I think is fascinating. From hardcore gravel racer all the way to deep backcountry experience seeker. And like 3 other versions in between. You got 1x's, you got 2x's. Some of them even have a dropper. I'm just saying, if you've got a poison, there's one to pick. They say gravel's on a spectrum, like my emotions. out some of this chunky gravel. Look at this. Ben is wearing the perfect shoe to my bike combo. Vans in Santa Cruz, you're like the peanut butter to my jelly.
Let's get nuts.
Hey Abe.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Hey, where was I? I don't know.
What do you think of the color of this frame?
Damn!
What would you call it?
Volcano sauce. What? Yes.
This bike is confident inducing on this loose, steep descent. Ew! It doesn't have that sketchy, nervous feeling that some gravel bikes have. It feels much more planted and the confidence is like through the roof. Plus, check this view out.
You ripped it down the descent. I wasn't expecting you to come up behind me.
Dude, usually descending is my worst skill, honestly. It's the combination of this frame geometry, the Rudy fork, and the dropper. It just feels like stable on the dirt descent and in the soft stuff.
Yeah, the soft stuff is rough down that.
Dude, it did amazing. What the geometry, the dropper, and the Rudy fork does is it gives you a bunch of confidence and control. You're in the bike, you're stable. And another thing that does, that allows this bike to run 700 by 45s, which comes stock, as the tire that you don't really need to change. It's truly interesting. So you don't need to run a big tire. You don't have to deal with that extra weight. You don't have to deal with the slog moving it around. It's a little more efficient. It's a little lighter, but it feels like a whole lot more. Wow, that was a big hole. Ron, this route is amazing. Thanks for putting it together. Whoa, so good. One of the last things that really seals the deal for this bike, to me, is the glove box. It has this built-in storage space that comes with its own bags, and you can put a tube, a patch kit, a multi-tool, a pump, and whatever else little things you need in there. But it all fits in the down tube. It's brilliant. Like, that's exactly where all of your tools should be. I don't necessarily want them hanging off my saddle. I don't need them dangling off my bars. I want them in the frame, out of sight, and out of mind. You got one in your bike too?
I do. Yeah, I've got a little hole in my down tube.
What do you think?
I love it. I've got a tube up here, I've got a tool kit down here, put my Garmin in reach, I've put sandwiches, jackets, gloves. It's half the reason I bought the bike. It's brilliant.
What would you call this color red?
Of the bike?
Yeah.
Ooh, Red Rock.
What would you call this color red?
Cranberry.
Oh, and this is also interesting about the bike. It only comes in one color. Can't tell if this is brilliance or sheer genius. And I don't mind it. But what color do you think this is? Give it a name. What is that? Terracotta? Oh, these guys are hauling oats. Woo! That was a little hairy. Dude, that was so freaking good. And don't get me wrong, this bike does not solve all of my bicycle mishaps. I've definitely cooked some corners and had some close calls today. Warning, all opinions expressed are my own. This is not a road bike. This is not a mountain bike. This is a pure and true gravel bike. But don't get me wrong, if you've got a ride to the ride, you'll be fine. But when you get to the dirt, you'll be stoked. All right, who's this bike for? Anyone that likes riding gravel, adventure cycling, or getting rad in the trees is going to benefit from riding this bike. Did you like this bike?
Yes.
Would you add it to the quiver? Absolutely. Is there anything you'd change on this bike? Man, not much. I think I'm officially a Rudy convert after that ride. The only thing I would shift is it would be cool to see an Eagle cassette in the back with a transmission rear derailleur. That fixes the weak point of a derailleur hanger, and it will give you a broader range of gears for the steep stuff that you inevitably end up hitting. This bike feels like an advantage for adventure. Honestly, if I know there's a big gravel mission, this bike is gonna help me. Oh, you wanna make this a little more fun and comfortable and faster? And no, I'm good. It's all the little things. The updated geo, it's lighter than expected. The glove box is completely essential. Yeah, all the boxes are checked. And the ride by the numbers? 4 hours, 37 minutes rolling time, 52 miles, and 6,963 feet of elevation. I'll put links to everything you need to know about the Stigmata down below. And the last thing I want to tell you about is this video, where I did the Access crossover. My buddy Drew and I both have wireless shifting. We swapped them over. So my bike shifted his bike, and his bike shifted my bike. And we went on a proper ride, and the results just might surprise you. Or depend. I don't know. What are you thinking? You think it goes good, or do you think it goes bad?